It's Sunday morning, and I have a message. And today's message comes from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verses 2 to 6. And it states that Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me mischief. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Then Sanballat his servant unto me, then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, It is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu saith it, that you and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king, according to these words. Now Nehemiah was a governor, and so he was kind of in charge of things, of getting things back together. The king sent him. King Ahasuerus sent him. The Sanballat is actually a Samaritan, from the elite of Samaria. Well, Samaria was the capital, right, of the northern kingdoms. So Sanballat was a Hebrew too. The title of my message is Haters Gonna Hate. So, from the outside looking in, folks saw something that they couldn't have. All the other lands were conquered, just like um, Judah and Jerusalem were taken into captivity. So were all these other people. All their lands were conquered. So why is it that Jerusalem was allowed to be rebuilt? Well, it was because our God, the Most High God, showed himself many times during the captivity. Those kings that were over Judah and Jerusalem knew that God, knew the Most High God. They saw his works. Um, and yeah, yeah, like this goes back right to Daniel and the Hebrew boys, right? Like they saw our God work and they believed. So like each king allowed them to rebuild in honor of their God. They're like, why should our sons suffer? Why should we suffer? We're going to honor this God by allowing his temple to be rebuilt, by allowing his city to be rebuilt. And it was over 3 kings, like over 3 different captivities, right? Because it was like Babylon had them, then Assyria, was it Assyria? Like 3 different people conquered them. Like, so Babylon conquered them, and then Babylon got conquered, and then they got conquered. And so each of those kings, though, was like, oh, yeah, we're going to honor the Most High God. Y'all going to go ahead and build that. So imagine how the other people felt, like their places weren't being rebuilt. Nobody was paying for them to replace their stuff. So now the hate train started, right? So they were going to get him. They were trying to get Nehemiah out of his character, right? Get him to step out of place so they could whoop up on him. They wanted to take Nehemiah out, thinking if Nehemiah wasn't there, then the work would stop. No, that was God's work, and folks were determined to get that done. So first they tried to get him out of his character and stop so the work would stop. Second, they accused him, thinking that those accusations would have him self-conscious and that he would stop. Next, they went to the king to try to discredit him so that the king would make him stop. But that didn't work either. You see, people are gonna hate. It's expected. People hate what they can't have. But had any of them ever like approached anybody to try to rebuild back their cities? No. Did their gods stand out and be exceptional in any way that those kings would ever want to pay tribute to their gods? No. So why would they get the opportunities that these folks got? They wouldn't. And they didn't. And they hated instead. But here's the thing about hating. Here's the thing about the plan that they had. The trying to get them out of character, the accusation, the false accusation to the king. It doesn't work. And it just makes, when all of that fails, it just makes that other person, whatever it is they're doing, minding their own business, doing God's work, it just makes them look even more successful in your eyes. Like hating isn't worth it. It really isn't. All that hate did was keep them from maybe doing their assignment, whatever their assignment was. Like they were so busy hating on Jerusalem, on the men building up Jerusalem, that they're not even trying to build up their cities. They're not even trying to do better for themselves. They're so busy, laser focused on what these folks are doing that they're not even paying attention to their own stuff. Family, I cannot impress this upon you enough. God has filled you with so many gifts and talents. Don't ever let what someone else is doing cause you to get mired down in envy or jealousy, because they're just walking in their giftings. They're walking in what God has given all of us. And you should be walking in your giftings too, but you're not. And it's time. It's time for you to step up and walk into your stuff and stop sitting back angry watching other people succeed, succeed in ways that you don't think they deserve. It's not up to you. God decides that. God decides what we deserve. So get up and start walking in your giftings. Step up and start walking in your purpose. Stop sitting back and being jealous of other people and get to doing what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is so important to the kingdom, and we need you. We need you out here. So it's not about being envious of what other people have. It's about taking that energy and developing what God has placed in you and start doing it. And when you do, you're going to have haters. And you encourage those haters. You encourage them to start walking in their gifts so that they're doing what God has planned for them. We all have a purpose on our lives. We all have gifts and talents in us. There are things that you are supposed to be doing. Now get up and do them. And join us again next time when In His Will Ministries International presents. It's Sunday morning. Until then, bye.